Hi guys, it's Chris Scott. I made another video of electronics. So this is gonna be part two of gonna be the so if you didn't watch the last episode, check it out, part one. So let's start off where we left off. So when you look at circuits, at first they seem complicated, but today this will explain a little bit more better. Circuits always begin with n plus and end with minus. Plus to minus. The energy flowing through plus to minus is called voltage. Basically, that's just like electricity. My voltage, which is the sign is V, is coming from the computer, which is connected to the Arduino by USB cable. Also, the minus ends into the ground from the Arduino. So, when the term ground, when using Arduino, it means minus. It's going back to minus. If you see an Arduino ground, that usually is going to go back to minus. Okay. So where did I left off? Current I. So for the current, how flow the electricity, I think that's going to be I. The letter symbol I is the amount of voltage going through a wire and resistance. So you remember we had like a resistor. You see this on the circuit is a resistor. Well, it has to resist how much electricity going through the LED. That's resistance ohm. But you have to figure out how much resistance you need because there are different types of resistance. There's like, yeah, it's the amount of resisted current. When lighting LED, it is really important to know how much resistance it needs or else it will burn out. There's a formula for that method. So I, which is current, equals V, voltage, divided by R, wait, what's R again? Oh, technical issue. R, oh, that's ohm. Well, okay guys, it's my mistake. Let's just continue on. So R is ohm, so this will equal to 5 volts, as you see there, is going to be divided by 220 ohm, which that is going to equal to the current, which is 0.023 A, which is going to be equal to 23 ohm low, MA. So I think it's like 1,000, like 1,000 of a fraction is ohm low, so that's 0.023, so that's 23 M low, M low. This is how to get the current of the voltage. Now you know the current, you can get started by lighting LED by an Arduino. By doing that, you need a resistor, figuring out the resistor, how much. So this is going to be 23 M low. Yeah, so that's resistance. So next page. More information about circuits. As we saw on the first circuit, you could put multiple LEDs if the right resistance and current. Now we're going to add switches, for example in coding, the switch is like input and the LED is like output. Now it is really important to understand schematics. For example, this one on the top right is from the power source to the button, to the resistor, to LED. So you see the button is kind of like a bridge. You know, the raw bridge. It's like that. A resistor resists the energy and then LED lights up. And then the other one you see, that is not the same thing. There's different types of circuits. On the top right, we just did that. That is called serial. On the bottom, that's parallel. Now, let's see what parallel means. There are two types of circuits, serial and parallel. Serial circuits has only one root. For example, if one component is not working, the whole root does not work. Parallel circuits has many roots altogether. For example, your kitchen is a parallel circuit because if the one thing does not work, other components still work. This circuit on the top is serial and the bottom is parallel. So first resistor does not work and the others work because the circuit has more than one root to power the source. So guys, like the power source, yeah? And then you see there's two resistors. If one is not working, there's always another root for that resistor, yeah? Alright. Guys, if this is too complicated, just pause, read it, in understand. Okay. So here we're beginning to program the actual LED because we're putting into the digital. There's digital pins, and that's how you connect the LEDs and resistor. Programming the Arduino. You have to make a variable. I'll make 0, the switch state, which is equals to 0. The switch state is like the button, so the button has no value. Later on, we're going to put in value. So all the code sent from the computer is received by the microprocessor, and it runs the code for the circuit. You always have to set up the pins on the Arduinos, like putting the pins that are output and input. For example, the button is going to be input, and the LEDs are going to be output. So you have to put which one is going to be input and output in the code. So if your variable wants to be turned on, or another value, if you want to put on a value on that button, the switch state, put that pin will receive voltage, and this program high is on and low is off. Also, to make it wait, you put on delay 1000, so it is 1 second. So here we see there are two main functions that you always put: void setup and void loop. Void setup is only doing it once, like setting the pins, and void loop is going to run the code over again and again, just like an LED. So you see on the top, that's how you can actually find the app. It's not hard, you just need to download it from the Arduino website, I think. That's how I did it, and it's pretty easy to set up. This is what you're likely to see when you open it. You see void setup and void loop. And then here's the code. So this is going to be the code, how we're going to learn you. The code is for the basic traffic lights. So the switch state, no value, integer, it's no value, can equal 0. So we're going to set up the LEDs. So the second pin is going to be input, which is going to be the button. 3, 4, 5, which is output, which is going to be green, yellow, red, I presume. And then the void loop switch state is going to equal to digital read 2. So this means it's going to read the second one, which the button is pinned to the second one. Now the code knows that. Now you can put if the switch state is equals to low. If pin 2 is off, that means you can do this code, which is 4 high and 3 and 5 low. That was a mistake. And then a quarter second wait, put 4 all off and a quarter second wait. So 4 and 4 4 is gonna be yellow. So it's gonna wait, put on and off, on and off. If it's off, if the button is off, it's just gonna blink yellow lights. That's how that works. So if it's else, if it's on, the button is on, has power, which is high. Digital right is going to be 3 off, 4 off, 5 on. I presume that's going to be red. And then 2 second wait is going to write 4 on and 5 off, which is going to be yellow. And then 5 off, that's red off. And then wait another quarter second and another 2 seconds and a quarter. You're going to put 4 off, so there's yellow, and 3 on, which is going to be green. So probably it's going to go, if you put on the button, it's going to go red, yellow, green, or I mistakenly it's going to go green, yellow, red. So let's try this code. I put a video up here. Yeah, so you see the yellow light is starting to blink, as I said. Yeah, now it's going to be red, yellow, green, and back to yellow because it did the loop and it turned off, so that's why it's blinking yellow. Alright guys, so oopsies. Next page. So I actually made another project which actually had 2 traffic light LEDs. It's not really that complicated. You just need to put double the code, as you know what I mean. So it's not really hard to make this final project because I already made the first one, and then just adding 3 more LEDs. So as you know, the switch, you see in the code, the switch state is going to be equals to 0, no value, the button. So void setup. So the second the second pin is going to be input, which is button 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. It's going to be LED. That's going to set up the output for those LED traffic lights. Now it's going to do void loop over again. So if the switch state, it's going to read that it's going to be the second pin, and then if the button is off, it's going to make 4 on and 9 on, which is the 2 yellow lights, I presume, and then it's going to wait another quarter second, and then those off and quarter second. So that's going to happen if that's off, the button is off. So it's going to keep doing the yellow blinking lights if it's off. Now if it's on, it's going to write 3 off, 4 off, 5 off, and 5 on, 8 on, 9 off, 10 off. I presume that 5 is red. Yeah, I think 5 is red, and then 8 is going to be green, because as you know, there's 2 traffic lights. So imagine you have like pedestrian and you have a car, that you need 2 traffic lights, you know, because you know which one where to go. So if it's red for the traffic lights, for the car traffic lights, then you need to be green for the other one to let the pedestrians go. And then it's going to wait another 5 seconds. Then it's going to make 5 on, 9 on, and 8 low. So I presume it's going to be the green for the pedestrians going to turn to yellow, and the red is still going to go on. Wait another 2 seconds and a quarter. It's going to make 4 off, which is going to be, which is already off. Okay, that's confusing. I made another mistake there, I think, yeah. And then 3 on. 3 on is going to be oh yeah, the yellow light for the car, so it's going to turn to yellow. And I think the 10, yeah, so basically the green is for the pedestrian is going to go to green, yellow, red, and then the red is going to change when the pedestrians hit yellow, hit red, then it's going to turn to yellow, green, and going to do the cycle again. That's what it says here, 3 on, 10 on. So 3 and 10, 3 is the red light for the pedestrians, and 10 is going to be the green light, I presume. And it's going to wait another 2 seconds, a quarter. So it's going to be 4 on, 3 off, 10 on, 9 off, 5 off. So I presume that red is going to be on, the green is going to change to yellow, and then it's going to restart by putting 4 off, 10 off, 5 and 9 on. Or it's going to back to the beginning, which is green and red. And I am correct. So let's see, guys, the actual project. So you see it's blinking yellow. Yeah, green and red is going to be on. The green is going to change to yellow. And then it's going to go to, that's going to go to red. And that's going to go to green, yeah. And then that green has to go to yellow. And it's going to go to red. And that yellow, and then beginning. So thank you for listening for my projects. I hope you enjoyed it. So this is going to be the end of part 2. If you didn't see the other one, go check it out. Actually, if you, before you click this, well, it doesn't matter now. Yeah, just go check it out. This is the end of the video, so subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.